Spain, home of sun, paella, and vega. While I'm not a passport bro, I aim to assist those who believe that their ideal mate is in a foreign land. Could it be a naive overgeneralization? Sure, but this is YouTube, so here's my personal view of how Spanish women may treat black men. Contrary to popular misandrist beliefs aimed at black men, I don't believe black men who entertain the ideas of a relationship with foreign people to either quote-unquote hate themselves or to quote-unquote hate their mothers. In fact, it may seem many black men actually look for the stereotypical properties that are featured within the black community on black people in general in these foreign women. And I believe Spanish women are a good example of that. So let's go to Spain and ask how they treat black men. The heavily stereotyped persona of Spanish women is to be strong, passionate, and feisty, right? Very passionate dances come to mind like the flamenco and the almost aggressive expression and the ferocity, and these passionate dances aren't too dissimilar from African displays of dance. Like the Zuri dance, for example. Strong emotion, strong desire, dramatic. The diet may be similar too. A lot of meat, a lot of earthy foods. Paella comes to mind. And of course, there's the history of being mixed with people from Northern Africa. I guess a combination of their genetic heritage and the diet may make Spanish women appear different from other parts of Europe. And this might be a reason why black men may find Spanish women to be of appeal. And from there we go into the aesthetics. So stereotypically, Spanish women appear with dark hair, dark eyes, darker tan skin. And again, it's in correlation to the African heritage as well. For black men in particularly, this is a massive draw because like I said, or like I've stipulated, a lot of black men seem to pursue non-black women with stereotypical black features, whether knowingly or not, and an admiration for those features, right? So of course, with the diet in mind too, you might come across more curvier Spanish women than most other Europeans, particularly thinking about the Northern Europeans. Although there are blondes and redheads too, it doesn't seem to be the stereotypical representation of a Spanish woman. So I think the stereotypical looks are one area that will draw in black men. But as mentioned before, the attitude, which is stereotypically feisty, proud, maybe in some cases even arrogant. And of course, being a Western country, feminist mindsets also prevail. But it's a bit strange in this case because I find that a lot of Spanish women are very traditional, have traditional expectations of men to quote-unquote take care of them and to, make a certain amount in order to facilitate a fruitful relationship. But it's always going to be confusion with, people who are in both minds, who are modern people with traditional expectations. I think this perfectly sums up Spanish women in general, right? And alongside that feisty demeanor could be a very argumentative, short fuse, short temper, potentially. So that could lead to a lot of confrontations, a lot of emotions, right? But I would say that on the surface, at least, there is a compatibility with black men. It seems to come from that expression of emotion and passion and pride. Again, the passionate music, the more kind of hearty foods with spice, and then there's the phenotype, the body type. I've known quite a few black British guys, for example, who've gone to party islands like Ibiza and came back with locals. They also speak about this general compatibility. Although I think the parents, the older generations, might not be fully co-signing with this idea, and this I think is because of sentiments of a national pride. I think again, stereotypically, Spain in general are a very proud people, very proud of their traditions. It could be bullfighting, although inhumane to most people's eye, it's still seen as a proud event because it stems from historical times. Pride in the Spanish monarchy, pride in the Spanish conquests, Spain being a former superpower, often leave sentiments of superiority. And so in this context, when we're speaking about the older generation, I think that some of this arrogance is lingering in the conscience of older Spanish people. And in general, it is unrealistic to expect old-fashioned parents to welcome this interracial ideal, right? But beyond even the racial aspect, again, many cities in Spain, many regions in Spain have their own kind of culture or things that they're known for. It could be the arts, it could be architecture, it could be the nature, right? So there's a lot of regional pride. It might even be frowned upon if someone from the Catalan region mixes with someone from the south, for example. And even while being geographically close to Africa, Morocco bordering itself, there has always been a keep them out mentality. And I'm not saying this is because of racism, right? It's obviously an influx of foreign people who are emigrating illegally will disrupt an economy. So, are obviously aspects of national security and defending your country, right? So it's not all down to racism. But then again, aspects of racism could very well be present. Of course, like most Western European countries, expect Spanish women to be highly educated, and through the prospects of high education, being of an independent mindset. Take it or leave it. But again, there's still these romantic, old-fashioned expectations that women might have of men. Chivalry is a big expectation in men to perform a certain traditional role. But of course, it's contradictory to the new age that we find ourselves in. Why open a door for a woman when she can open the door for herself? Although I find Spain in general to not be the best English speakers, as in to not being open to learning to speak English the most. And again, I think this might be linked to some degree, the ideas of a superiority in the Spanish, right? Because you've got a whole continent in South America that mostly speak Spanish. So why do I have to speak and learn another language, right? Type of mentality. Similar to what English people might think or feel. So in conclusion, I think Spanish women, generally speaking, again, I keep using that term, generally speaking, this is a heavy generalization. I believe Spanish people are probably up there amongst the most relatable to black men than most other Europeans. And this is due to the stereotypical nuances that might make this compatibility very strong. So again, we're looking at elements of the culture, the passion, the emotional displays, the food, the look. There is a good blend of the traditional appreciation and also modernity. So I guess to some of you guys, it could mean that you might come across a Spanish woman that fully co-sign and adopt a traditional or a traditional role, if that's what you're looking for. But of course, a European country, very much modern people, and that comes with its telltale sign. Independence, for example. But what do you guys think? Am I right or am I wrong in my detailing of Spanish women in correlation with black men who wish to find foreign mates? Put your comments down below. Let us know what you think. And of course, like the video if you found it enjoyable, if you found it knowledgeable, as that helps. And on screen now are all of my other related videos, so check them out and tell us what you think. But for now, it's your boy, Falcon Blizzak out. Peace.